I found out that my boyfriend had a second girlfriend because I sat down next to her on a plane. But then obviously we had to come up with some kind of plan to confront him. I had been dating my boyfriend, let's call him John, for about 7 months, but our entire relationship was basically long distance because he was constantly traveling for work and having to stay in different cities for extended periods of time. So when he asks me if I wanted to spend the weekend in California with him, I could not have packed a bag faster. I was ready to get on a flight within the next few hours. I was so excited. So I get on my flight. I am so excited. I find my seat and I see that I'm seated directly next to this girl that's around my age. She smiles at me, looks really friendly, and I do not know what it was because normally I am not someone that is going to talk to the people next to me on planes, but maybe I was just so excited to see my boyfriend that I was just in a really good mood and feeling extra chatty. So me and this girl, let's call her Meg, start yapping and just making small talk, and she's super sweet. We have a lot in common and I really like her. So I ask her what she's traveling for and she tells me that she was just on a work trip, so she's going back home. She asks me what I'm traveling for and I tell her that I'm going to go see my boyfriend and that I'm really excited. And that's when she asks me, oh my gosh, wait, so cute. Let me see a photo of you and your boyfriend, as girls do. But when I pull out a photo to show her of the two of us, she looks absolutely sick. And immediately I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this must be one of John's exes. And now I have to sit on a plane next to her the entire flight. That is so awkward. But instead of saying anything, she just pulls out her phone, taps the screen on, and I see her lock screen. And it's a photo of her and John together. Immediately, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't even know what I'm thinking, but the only thing I'm really thinking is, oh my gosh, did I just sit down next to the other woman on a plane? And that's when she says, yeah, John has been my boyfriend for over 2 years. I was the other woman. We've only been dating for 7 months. I was the other woman. And just to clarify, by this point, the plane hadn't even taken off yet. We are still on the tarmac when we figured out we were both dating the same man. So for the next 4-ish hours, the two of us are sitting on that flight next to each other, just comparing notes, comparing timelines, text messages, and yeah, this man fully was lying to both of us when he was telling me he was busy doing something with work in one state. He was actually visiting her and then vice versa. It was crazy and it was really easy for him to do because he traveled so much for work. He could get away with having 2 girlfriends and neither of us had any clue about the other. And it also made us think, how many more are there? Because it feels like there's probably more than just us. One of the only bright sides of this entire horrible situation was that neither of us were angry at the other. We really wanted to support and be there for each other because we realized like both of us were kind of in the same boat. We both got lied to by this man. So we just wanted to work together and confront him. At first we thought about confronting him right when he came to get me from the airport, but then we were like, no, we can do better than that. So one of the most difficult things I ever had to do was pretend like everything was fine and that I was still in love with this man when he came and picked me up from the airport. We spent that afternoon together and I just had to pretend like everything was super normal and that I had no idea he was cheating on me. But that night is when our plan took effect because John had planned a very nice romantic dinner for us at a super expensive steakhouse. So we get there, we check in. He's like, John, table for 2. I said, actually, can we expand the reservation to a table for 3? And he looks at me so confused. I said, oh, I'm so sorry, babe. I forgot to tell you, I invited my friend. She didn't have any plans tonight, really wanted to come, so I was hoping that it would be okay if she joined us. And you know, him trying to be so accommodating, he's like, of course, she's more than welcome. Yes, table for 3. So we get seated at our table. John and I are making small talk when all of a sudden I see behind John's shoulder Meg walking in and I say, oh, there's my friend right now. Great, Meg, over here, right here. He turns around and when he sees her, he looks sick. Meg comes and sits down at the table and John looks like he's about to puke everywhere. And Meg goes, John, why have you been hiding this girl from me? She is so great. Did you not think we'd be friends? Like, what? I was like, yeah, John, did you not think that your girlfriends would get along? And this man starts spiraling. He is trying to come up with whatever excuse he can, but I mean, what excuse can he really make? He's like, this is all just a big misunderstanding. We were like, really? What was the misunderstanding? Because it seems pretty clear that you have 2 girlfriends in different states. And this man has the audacity to say, well, I never really lied to either of you because neither of you asked me if I had another girlfriend. What? What are you talking about? He says, yeah, y'all just both assumed you were my only girlfriend and I never corrected it. Like, make that make sense. He's not in the wrong because we didn't ask if he was cheating. Okay. And as he's continuing to just say the dumbest things I've ever heard, I said, I'm so sorry to cut you off. We double booked you tonight. I'm so sorry. We actually have other plans we need to get to, so I'm sure that you can just kind of find your own way home. Have a good night. And we just walk out. He's trying to call after us and we just act like we don't even hear him. Then I spent the rest of the weekend that I was gonna spend with John with Meg, which was pretty great because she was the only person who knew exactly what I was going through. But one of the craziest parts of this already crazy story is that John was texting both of us the same apology text messages, copy paste, like nothing original, trying to win both of us back. I'm so sorry, she meant nothing to me. I love you and only you. I just want to be with you. Yeah, sending it to both of us, the exact same word for word message. And even after I got back from California, he continued to send the same text messages to me and Meg, trying to win us both back. So now Meg and I have a decision to make. Do we just completely block him and just be done with the situation? Or do we mess with him like a little bit more to try and get him to learn his lesson? Let me know what y'all would do because I would not consider myself a petty person, but feels like if there's any time to be petty, this is the perfect time.